bil-ma'ruf, spread the good. Do whatever has been ordained upon you to do. وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ, stop and forbid the evil. Stay away from whatever has been forbidden upon you. And always keep faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you fulfill these three conditions, then only you are entitled to be called as the best nation or the best ummah. I see many young students over here. There is a very famous saying over here in corporate America too, that says that there are no free lunches in this world. So if you want to seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you should fulfill His commandments and follow the teachings of our beloved Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Nur reminds us, where He says, نُورٌ عَلَى نُورٍ يَهْدِي اللَّهُ لِنُورِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ يَضْرِبُ اللَّهُ الْأَمْثَالَ لِلنَّاسِ وَاللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ فِي بُيُوتٍ أَذِنَ اللَّهُ أَنْ تُرْفَعَ وَيُذْكَرَ فِيهَا اسْمُهُ يُسَبِّحُ لَهُ فِيهَا بِالْغُدُوِّ وَالْآصَالِ. In this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, light upon light, Allah guides to His light who He wills. And Allah set forth parables for mankind. And Allah is all knower of everything. In houses, masajids, which Allah has ordained to be raised and to be cleaned, to be honored, in them His name is remembered. How do we remember the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? By calling the azan, by making the iqama, by offering the salah, by reciting the Quran, by making the dua. So in this verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, therein glorify Him in the mornings, in the afternoons, and in the evenings. Our beloved Imam Shaykh Fawad, he reminded us this verse from Surah Tawbah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا يَعْمُرُ مَسَاجِدَ اللَّهِ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَقَامَ الصَّلَاةَ وَآتَى الزَّكَاةَ وَلَمْ يَخْشَ إِلَّا اللَّهَ فَعَسَىٰ أُولَٰئِكَ أَن يَكُونُوا مِنَ الْمُهْتَدِينَ. The masajids of Allah shall be maintained only by those who believe in Allah and the last day, perform as-salah and give zakah, and fear none but Allah. It is they who are on true guidance. When Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail alayhi salam were building Kaaba, they made this special dua, as mentioned in the Holy Quran. وَإِذْ يَرْفَعُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَوَاعِدَ مِنَ الْبَيْتِ وَإِسْمَاعِيلُ رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. O Allah, accept this service from us. O Allah, accept this duty from us. Indeed, you are all hearer and all knower. One of the beautiful gifts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us is this religion of Islam. As He reminds us in Surah Al-Ma'idah, الْيَوْمَ أَكْمَلْتُ لَكُمْ دِينَكُمْ وَأَتْمَمْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعْمَتِي وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمُ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا. This day I have perfected your religion for you, completed my favor upon you, and have chosen for you Islam as your religion. Things can be perfect, but may not be complete, and things may be complete, but may not be perfect. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been very kind on us, that He gave us this religion, which is perfect and which is complete. In Surah Al-Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again talking about this ummah, this community. He says, وَلْتَكُنْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Let there be a community among you, advocating what is good, demanding what is right, and eradicating what is wrong. These are indeed the successful. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Indeed, he succeeds who purifies his own self. Then in Surah Hujurat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again reminds us and talks about this humanity at large, where He says, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ إِنَّا خَلَقْنَاكُم مِّن ذَكَرٍ وَأُنثَىٰ وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِندَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ خَبِيرٌ. O mankind, I have created you from a single pair, male and female, and made you into nations and tribes, so that you can know each other, better understand each other. The best in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those who are God conscious. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing and all-aware. I was listening to one Shaykh from Al-Azhar, and he was explaining the meaning of this being God-conscious. How a person can be God-conscious. After all the good deeds that we do, all the good deeds that we perform, the ultimate goal of that is to be God-conscious. So he said, if Yunus alayhi salam can be inside the belly of a whale, inside an ocean, and can be God-conscious and ask for Allah's help and mercy. When Ibrahim alayhi salam was being thrown in the fire, at that difficult time, if he can be God-conscious and ask for Allah's help and mercy. When Ayyub alayhi salam was tried with great calamities, at that difficult moment, if he can be God-conscious and ask for Allah's help and mercy. When Nuh alayhi salam and his own children were mocking at him and making fun of him, at that particular time, if he can be God-conscious already shipped. Then he picked up a log of wood, he drilled a hole in it, and he put the money in a letter, and then sealed it tightly and threw it in the water. The lender was looking for the boat, looking for this person. He didn't find this person, but he did find this log of wood. So he thought he would use this wood for his fire, for his firewood. So he took this log of wood into his house, and he sawed it into 2 pieces. He found the money and the letter. After several days, the borrower came back to this person. He said, I couldn't make it on time. I'm very sorry. Here is the money that I borrowed from you. So the lender told him, keep this money with you, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has delivered the money on your behalf. This is from Bukhari, volume number 3, hadith number 488b. So my dear brothers and sisters, we put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first and foremost, and then we ask you to show your generosity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us by saying, فَاذْكُرُونِ أَذْكُرْكُمْ وَاشْكُرُونِ وَلَا تَكْفُرُونَ. Remember me, I'll remember you. Be thankful to me, and never be ungrateful to me. In another place he says, وَإِذْ تَأَذَّنَ رَبُّكُمْ لَئِنْ شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِدَنَّكُمْ وَلَئِنْ كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. And remember when your Lord proclaimed, if you give thanks, I'll give you more. But if you are thankless, verily my punishment is indeed severe. You know, we always like to talk about happy times, good times. We don't like to talk about death, even though we know this is something which is for sure. Many people came before us and they left this world. Many people who are going to come after us will be leaving this world. Many of us, we don't know how long we are going to live. Every soul shall taste death. So before we leave this world, my dear brothers and sisters, I invite you to come forward and help these brothers and sisters who are desperately asking for your help and for your support. With this, I will open up the floor and ask you to show your generosity, ask you to open up your hearts, open up your minds, open up your wallets, open up your checkbooks, pull out your credit cards or debit cards, and then give for the sake of Allah, for the house of Allah. Whoever is going to build the house of Allah in this world, inshallah, they will have a bigger house, a much bigger house in paradise. So with this, I will open up the floor and ask the first brother or sister who would say, I will give $25,000 to Islamic Society of Denton, a masjid that was established in 1981. We take a great pride. We take a great pride in saying that this was the first mosque in Texas. Hundreds of students every single year come to this masjid. They pray. They become part of the community, and then they go to different parts of the country or go to different parts of the world to earn their livelihood. We don't know how many hundreds of students have benefited from this masjid. So my dear brothers and sisters, let me find the first Kareem or a Kareema who would say, I will give $25,000, $2,000 a month. You can give as one-time donation, you can give in 12 installments, it's up to you. Let me see the first Kareem or a Kareema who would say, I will give that $25,000. Inshallah, there's 200 people who are present over here. Inshallah, together we'll make dua for that person. Let me see that first person. Say, La hawla la quwwata illa billah, and say, I will give that $25,000. It's not easy. In this bad economic times, it's not easy to give money. And many shuyukh, they say, or shuyukh, they tell us that when somebody makes an intention to give, 70 shaitan, they try to pull the person in different directions. So we know it's not easy. So say, La hawla la quwwata illa billah, and then raise your hand. Give as a one-time donation, or give in installment. Do I see that Kareem or a Kareema who would say, I will give $25,000? Do I see that hand? Do I see that hand over here? $25,000. Going once, going twice. You know, let me basically share with you this verse. We all are an ummah of mercy. Quran describes our beloved Prophet, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Prophet has been sent as a mercy to the entire world. And many scholars explain this verse by saying that this one verse talks about the very foundations of our faith. Because in this verse, the center is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to whom it is sent was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The message itself is a mercy, and who is it for? Al-Alameen. So everybody is covered in this one verse. So we, as an ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as an ummah of mercy, should show our generosity to the house of Allah. So let me see that one Kareem or a Kareema who would say, I will give $25,000. It's somewhere over here. I personally know many brothers and sisters who are present to dialogue with you. I know when somebody's speaking, it's not appropriate for you to talk because it might be a distraction. But for fundraisings, we don't need a monologue tone. We need a dialogue tone. And the way we want to dialogue with you is, I will ask for your money, and you basically respond by raising your hand. So that's the way we'll dialogue tonight. Let me see that. Let me see the first hand for $25,000. Let me see that hand. I know it's somewhere over here. Somewhere over here. Let me see that one hand. And inshallah, I promise I will go very fast after this. My father is a professor of zoology. He says long speeches creates depletion of oxygen that goes into your brain that leads into yawning. So I don't want to become a reason of your yawning. So I want to go very fast. But I need your help. I need your cooperation. Let me see that one hand. One hand for $25,000. I know it's somewhere over here. Somewhere over here. You can give as one-time donation. You can give in installments. You can give in quarterly basis. But Yasser, he promised me that he'll work with you. So let me see that one hand for $25,000. Khayr. Let me make your work easier. Let me see two brothers who would say, I will give $12,500. How about that? I'll make your job easier. Let me see two brothers, brother or sister, or two brothers, or two sisters. Takbir! Allahumma ameen. Say Allahumma ameen. By the way, takbir and ameen are free. So when I say takbir, you should praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the best possible way. Let me try one more time. Takbir! Takbir! Takbir!